Hey, what's up, fellas? I'm us female fans. Steve is here with the Fitbit Charge 4. And you know what that means. If it's another fitness tracker, that means I had to get my heart rate up over $1 for you people. Do you understand how dangerous that is? Putting this temple in harm's way, all in the name of journalism. We'll go over the pros and cons today on this edition of Steve Tech. And we're back. As always, thank you so much to all the new subscribers. If you're loving all the tech, fitness tech as well, despite how strenuous it is on my form, go ahead and tussle that subscribe button. It certainly means a lot to me. So let's talk about the Fitbit here and why I went with the Charge 4 for my use case. Perhaps it's similar to yours. I love all kinds of watches. Smart watches, digital watches, analog watches, whatever it happens to be. And when you do as little physical activity as I do, you want what little you do to actually count. So when you have an Apple Watch, or you have a Garmin, or you have the Samsung, or if you're just wearing an analog watch, you're losing out on steps, activities, exercise, all that stuff when it doesn't sync to your phone. So I was looking for a fitness band that could go on my offhand, and that way I could have it on all the time. I could pick any watch that I want and still be able to track all the activity and keep it in one spot. Blood oxygen, sleep, all the rest of it. So that's why I went with the Fitbit Charge 4. But as you can see, disapproving Porg is here once again because there are some goofy things with the Fitbit ecosystem that we'll talk about in a moment. Now, let's talk about what you get, because you do get some smartwatch functionality with the Fitbit Charge 4. So you could technically, if you don't want a whole lot, if you're okay with a black and white screen, you're okay with kind of the goofy angle on the display, you could get away with using it as a smartwatch if you wanted to. $129 right now. I got mine for $99. It was a Mother's Day sale, something like that. They're always going on sale. I'll leave a link in the description for Amazon. I would recommend wait until you could get it for around $100. $130 at this point with all the other options. I don't think that's going to be something that would be a good deal for you. But let's just talk about what you do get when you get your Fitbit Charge 4. So it struggles to focus in there. Okay, so you get regular watch faces. You could change that. Exercise when you want to track a specific exercise. Spotify, which you could link and control in the app. Agenda and relax. Relax is like that breathe stuff you got. Timers, alarms, regular standard stuff. Weather, and then settings. But we're going to go into settings here. Auto brightness, vibration, just strong, stuff like that. Heart rate, whether you want it on or off. Off will save battery, of course. Do not disturb, sleep mode, which I didn't want to do there. We'll back out of that for a sec. Notifications, screen timeout, default, and GPS settings. And when you go to GPS, I recommend always leaving that on dynamic, because if you put it down, this is very nice. It has its own GPS built into the device, but it will absolutely just destroy the battery life of the device if you use the GPS here instead of using the one on your phone. And quite frankly, I trust the one on the phone a little bit better, the bigger antenna, all the rest of it. And that's what a lot of these devices do. Whether you're getting an Apple Watch, whether you're getting a Garmin, whether you're getting whatever it is that has GPS functionality, a lot of them, even if they have a GPS receiver in them, are defaulting to using the phone GPS because that's stronger. It's going to be a little bit better. So that's what I did with this. Let's talk about battery life. They claim 7 days. With all the stuff turned on, realistically, you're going to want to charge it after about 4 or 5. So when I got to 4 or 5, you're wearing it for sleep monitoring and all the rest of it. 4 or 5 days, I slapped it on the charger. I was getting to about 20, 25%. Charge time is nothing. So if you're just at the office, you're at your computer, you're doing whatever, put it on the charger. It is a proprietary charger, kind of one of those goofy chargers that you clip onto the back here. But an hour gets you from 25% to 95%, and then 20 minutes beyond that. So an hour 20 to top off fully from 25%. But you can get to 95% in about an hour, which is fine. So that's why you hook it up, you forget about it for an hour, you go do something, you come back, and you're good for another 4 or 5 days. Now, the accuracy of it was quite good. It was on track with everything else. When I go into the app here, and I tested it against a Garmin and my Apple Watch to just make sure that things were okay. And like with all these things, the apps are incredibly important. So let's pull this one up. And this is quite nice. If you're a Fitbit person, if you're used to their ecosystem, then you're going to like, it's a full-featured app. The only thing that I don't like, and this is why Disapproving Porg is here, To get the advanced functionality, like the blood oxygen, like some of the sleep stuff, you need to be a Fitbit Premium member. So you need to pay extra. So when you tell me that you got a feature on your watch and I can't, or band, sorry, and I can't use it unless I use Fitbit, I pay for the additional Fitbit Premium, that's going to annoy me a little bit because even though the Apple Watch is significantly more money, you get it, you get all the features. The Garmin the same way. You get it, you get all the features. So that one kind of threw me a little bit, but if you're used to Fitbit, it's fine. Sleep, it does a great job monitoring all the rest of it. Health metrics, I think this is really cool. You get extra stuff. You get breathing rate, heart rate, I don't even know what half this stuff does. Oxygen saturation, that's quite good. See, I'm kind of in the regular, normal range there. The thing with this is, are you going to, they say anything above 95% for the heart blood oxygen rather is good. If this thing tells you that you're at 94% for a day, are you going to run to the doctor? No. But if there's nothing wrong with it, if it's working fine, then all of a sudden over time you see it going to 85, 80%, and it's there for a little bit, perhaps you're calling your doctor. You're making an appointment. You're going to get a checkup. So it's not something that is going to diagnose anything for you. None of these bands could do that. But it could give you a little guide as to your overall health. Hey, is there anything really glaringly wrong? In which case, you should probably go to the doctor. Accuracy. Let's pull the app back up because I want to show you the accuracy of what you get with workouts themselves. So when you go in there, it's got to exercise however many days. I do like, it has the map like other ones. It has the zones and fat burning zones and cardio zones and all the rest of that stuff that you'd want. It does a good job. See, average BPM and steps were right on with the Apple Watch and Garmin. So accuracy is not a problem. The only thing that became an issue with accuracy is none of these devices use GPS to determine the distance. And that's what a lot of people were having problems with this Fitbit on Reddit and online and in the reviews. They're saying, hey, it's not necessarily accurate with the distance that you're walking. But all of them had different results. The Apple Watch tended to be about 0.2 of a mile less than the Fitbit. And the Garmin was about 0.3 of a mile less than the Fitbit. The good news is this, is that if you go on the Fitbit website, on your account, you log in, because you need to account for all this stuff. You log in, you go into the Fitbit website. You can actually change the distance of your stride. So you can at least affect the algorithm and how it determines how far you're going with your steps, which I think is quite cool. So if you find that it's wildly inaccurate and you somehow do this other test where you know exactly what a mile is, you can kind of tune it. If it's going to be that big of a difference for you, you could tune it to make sure it gets an accurate distance for your particular step count, which is good. But steps, heart rate, all that stuff, it was right down the middle in terms of comparing it to the Apple and the Garmin. Now, it comes with this band here, okay, which is nice. Listen, it's quality, it's solid. People have had problems over time with the clasps. They say they break or they get weak. I mean, I really had no issue with it. I don't think I would be sitting there doing a bunch of changes with it, but when you find some that you like, that's okay. This one, for me, was a little bit too wide when it came with. It's a little rigid. So for sleep, it's not that comfortable. If you're adjusting, it's got, of course, it's one of these adjustable ones where you're just picking the notch, and you'd be changing back and forth all day with the notches. I went on Amazon. I'll leave the link for this thing. This is quite nice. It's soft. It's comfortable. It's flexible. It's Velcro, which is great. So you could use it, go to the gym or whatever it is. You're going to have no problem. And especially for sleep, no issues whatsoever. You throw this on, you don't even realize the thing's there, which is quite good. And that's with something that you're going to swap out if you do get this. The other big complaint that people had was about the button on the side. They're saying it's very hard on your wrist to kind of hit it and get it to register. And it's true. Even right there, it was a bit of an issue. But every time when it's on your wrist, I'll go ahead and demonstrate this quickly. I don't want to take too much time with this, but let's just throw it on. Listen, every time, I know it's a pain, but if you use your thumb, okay, let's get this focused in, and backstop it and then hit it, it's going to activate every single time. So just to use 2 fingers and you'll be able to activate without much issue whatsoever. If you're okay with the quirky stuff, if you've been, the other thing is big is that it unlike the Garmin, unlike the Apple Watch, obviously, even the Amazfit Neo would link with the Apple Health app on the phone and kind of keep track of your stuff that way. So if that's a huge deal for you, this doesn't do it. There are third-party apps that will do it, but you got to pay for them. Again, this is everything you seem to, with Fitbit, you seem to be paying for. So I don't think it's worth it personally to have it linked to the Apple Health thing. But if you're big, if you're using the Apple Health app for everything, that's something you might want to consider as well. But if you're somebody who's been using the Fitbit's ecosystem's been around forever. I mean, my earliest account, I think, goes back to 2013. So if you've been using stuff all along and the Apple stuff, the new stuff doesn't really appeal to you, this will work fine. It's accurate. It does the job reasonably well on battery life and overall decent quality. Make your own determination. I think it's quality. For my use case, it's good. You might not be so much. If you've made it this far, like, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff. Until next time, have that Steve-alicious day.